guys, welcome to Cars and Coffee Monthly. Today we are here with Cam and his 1990 Mazda Miata. This episode is sponsored by Lap 24 and Monster Studios. What's up, Cam? How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. I love where you're sitting. This is really cool.
I know.
You look really spiffy, I guess is the word. That
I'm happy. I got my coffee
Drinking
and I got my
24.
car. We're good.
You look good. How was the coffee, by the way?
Coffee was great. Like, we were at Cars and Coffee and he gave me the coffee and it tasted amazing. It was like, it's good.
Well, thank you very
I
much.
didn't even have to add any sugar or anything. That's how you know it's good coffee.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, let's jump right into the car and get some information on it, get people what they want. So we'll start off with this question. Just explain to us a little bit about the Miata and the history behind the car itself in general. Not necessarily your specific car, but the Miata as a whole.
Well, the 1990 Miata, it was made to be a fun sports car, but they had the RX-7, which was like a race car, and it's like very serious when you're driving the car. When you drive the Miata, it's supposed to be fun. Like, even though it's slow, it's a fun car. Like, you're always smiling. It doesn't matter what you do. You can track it, you can drift it, you can just drive it as a daily driver and it'll last you. 240,000 miles on this thing. Let's start how I got into JDM stuff. It was really my brother. My brother is like 30 years old right now. And every time I saw him, so he has an S13, a 240SX. It's awesome, it was great. And he would always take me drifting on the street or on the track. And it really inspired me, like, hey, that's my older brother. Drift cars are cool. He had like a hydro brake and it had a switch to start it like it was an airplane. As a kid, I thought it was amazing. Or when I was younger, I'm still a kid, but yeah, that's what got me into drifting. And then I got into like games. I played Forza, and then I got drift cars, and then I just fell in love with it. And then all my friends around me in high school, they all had Miatas. And then I found a cheap Miata for $3,500 and I picked it up. And then that's how I got into the Miata.
You're a senior in high school. So what advice would you give to other high schoolers who want to get into car building or even drifting?
If you're gonna get into a car and it's gonna be a project car, know that you're gonna spend a lot of money on it. Like, you're gonna spend if you're just working like a $13 an hour type of job, you're gonna spend like basically all your money on your car because it's gonna break a lot, especially if it's an older car. And then just like go budget. Like, you don't need to buy the most expensive things, and make sure your car's working. Don't just buy, oh, I see the spoiler, it looks really cool, when your car's not even running good, because the car's not cool if it's not running. The car can look cool, but if it doesn't drive, then what's the point in the car?
So what's your vision with this drift car? Like, what do you want to turn it into?
I really want to keep the low horsepower, so I'm running like 120 horsepower right now. And then really just, there's nothing much to do to it. I want bucket seats, clean up the interior a little bit, make it look nicer. That's why I got the steering wheel and then the bride boot and then a shift knob. But really, I just want to keep it like OEM plus. I got the side skirts and the bumper, but that's just because there's a little crash that happened in the bumper. So I was like, hey, I might as well replace it, get a body kit. And then, yeah, I like the wheels because it gives like a...
Those wheels do look really good. What kind of wheels are those?
Those are Clutch SL1 wheels.
Okay. How much did you get those for?
I picked them up for $500 off Facebook Marketplace.
For each one, or?
No, for the whole set. I would love to build the car out. Like, this is my first project car, and I would just love to see it finished if I had an unlimited budget. But I think one thing I'll start with is wrap the car, because, you know, the paint has some issues, so I'll wrap the car. And then the next, obviously, I'll just V8 swap it, obviously.
What's the best reaction you've gotten so far from people that see the car and see what you're doing with it too?
I had some kid, it was like a little kid, like, we're talking about, he's like 5 years old, 6 years old. I went to a car meet, his parents were there, and he was like, Miata. And I was like, he knows what a Miata is. And so I started doing the winking of the eyes, and then I shot some planes for him and revved it, and he was like so happy. Gave me a high five and ran up to the window and gave me a high five. I was like, that's pretty sick. Yeah, that's actually like a good feeling to like knowing that my car is like making kids happy. Like, I hope like he grows up and becomes a car enthusiast. I would say like my favorite moments in this car is definitely when I'm in my element and drifting. When I'm in a back road and it's dark at night and like there's nothing to worry about. Like, it's just me and my car and I'm behind the wheel and I'm just taking a turn and it's just so smooth and I don't gotta worry about anything. And like drifting is just like, I love it. Like it just makes me happy. And definitely going out with friends, just going on cruises with everybody and like, hey, we have all our cars out, all of our Miatas, and just having a good time. Like, it's definitely the best part is just being able to drive it whenever it's working great and I'm in a back road and just I see the trees going past me. Like every time I'm going through something and like I'm just not in a good mood, I take Rose. This car is named Rose, by the way, guys. I take Rose out and just go on a drive. I don't even have to go fast. I just have to be behind my car because I know like how much time and how many hours and how much money I put into this car. It's just, it feels great knowing that I put so much effort into this car and it's working. Like, as long as I treat it right, it'll treat me right.
My name is Shane. I'm with Lap 24 Coffee. I'm the owner and founder of Lap 24 Coffee. We are a coffee brand that started in 2023. We are looking to get into the car world and bring car enthusiasts like yourself the highest quality coffee on the planet for car enthusiasts. We go to car shows and we realized, hey, everyone's calling it cars and coffee, but there's no one really catering to those enthusiasts that are out there. So we decided to become that brand, my friend Victor and I. My friend Victor, 2023, unfortunately, he passed away. So I decided to call the brand Lap 24 in honor and memory of him. And now we have some of the greatest coffee out there, as Cam has previously mentioned. We have our cold brew. Thank you, Cam. We have our cold brew coming out soon, hopefully in cans. That's what we're aiming for. But you can go onto our store at lap24coffee.com and we will hook you guys up with whole beans, ground beans, as well as our cold brew, and soon some hot chocolate. That's what we're hoping for. So use code Miata at checkout for 15% off your next order, and we will get you guys hooked up. That's lap24coffee.com. What's your biggest inspiration when it comes to drifting? And are there any drift car builders or drivers or cars that you look up to?
The people that I look up to are the people I know, like my brother. Like, he built his car. He bought it from a grandma, and the car wasn't running. It had no front bumper, had no rear bumper. Like, it was all mismatched paint, and he built it from the ground up. He went through 4 motors and 2 turbos, and like looking at him like being so happy, even though like the car's like been through hell and back, like it's just like I want to be there. Like I want to be that person. And I know like, yeah, sometimes this thing gives me hell, but when it's working, it makes me like the happiest person alive. And when I saw my brother going through that, I was like, yeah, that's a big inspiration for me, because I saw his car go from nothing to a V8 swap S13 that looks like beautiful. It's like carbon fiber gray and everything. Like it was amazing, because he's had it for about 10 years. Yeah, and he just sold it like a few years ago. Every time I do something to this car, I always call him up like, yo, look what I did. And I know it's little to him, but it just makes me happy, like talking to him about and relating. It's like the relating is the biggest part about it.
And he's probably so proud of you and everything that you built. So.
Yeah, actually
awesome.
No. Because he's like, you're dumb. You bought a Miata, man. Like, hey, like you're gonna go through it. You're gonna go through hell with this car. And I'm like, yeah.
I love the front sticker on the front as well, on the windshield.
Made in Japan.
Made in Japan, that's it. Okay.
I would tell you, but I can't read it. Actually, my keychain. Let me grab it. So I bought this at a Cars and Coffee, and it says Slow Car Club, because my car is slow, very slow. But if you read these letters, it says I don't know how to read Japanese. I searched it up on Google. These say I don't know how to read Japanese. I didn't even know that until I searched it up on Google. But I thought that was pretty funny. So I bought it at the Cars and Coffee, and they had it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty cool. People want updates on the car. Where can they follow you? Where can they see more about the car?
2IS, and then _Cam on Instagram. So 2IS_Cam.
It's epic.
And the reason it's 2IS is because I have a Lexus 2IS 350. So that's where the Instagram handle comes from.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. So, with that said, are we good to go? Because I'm ready to go.